All right, so here we are back once again, getting to know Chicago's best comedians, at least in my opinion. Once again, my name is Erwin Solis, and I'm joined today with.
I'm Will Hill.
Awesome, yeah. Will, I don't know if you knew this, but you were actually at my very first open mic.
Over at Riddles?
Yeah,
No
yeah, for
way.
sure. Yeah, that was the very first time I did an open mic, almost like 2 years ago now.
Hmm.
Uh, and and I
Did
mean,
I mess up your name?
I think probably my last name. I think so, but just about everybody has done that, so it's like it's nothing special. um, yeah, but I mean, since then, no, I mean not to say that like I've seen everything around town, but from what I've seen, definitely my favorite host, uh, and absolutely just one of the most talented comedians I've seen around.
Dude, I
Uh,
really appreciate it. Thank you.
so,
Thank you. I,
yeah,
I mean, when it came down to hosting, bro, uh, I wanted it to be something that welcomed everybody. That
mhm,
was my main goal, right? First timers, seasoned vets, people who just thought about comedy, people who've been waiting to do it for a while. I wanted it to be very welcoming, and I wanted it to be a safe space, not in the sense of how you have to watch what you say, safe enough where you can say anything, right? Comedy is, I feel like, is here to push those borderlines and to push it into, you can joke about whatever. I had a rule: you can say whatever you want, but if someone want to fight you in the parking lot, just be able to fight. Like, you have 5 minutes to say exactly what you wanted to say. I won't stop you.
mhm.
But if it offends somebody and they can fight, you might have a problem in the parking lot. But you said it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's for sure something. As a comedian, yeah, that's what you gotta live by. To be honest,
Yeah,
if
yeah, yeah.
you're going up there saying, yeah, so yeah,
I've
for sure.
heard it all. I've heard it all.
All right, cool. So how long have you been doing comedy?
I've been doing comedy coming up on 5 years. Bro, I had got that mic like a year in.
Oh yeah.
I wasn't ready. Like, I really wasn't. The dude who was hosting before me, his name was Phil Landrio. And I had just started.
Mm.
Like, I started like right before the pandemic, right? And after it was over, Riddles was one of the first places to open back up. I lived right up the street from Riddles. So I'm like, all right, bet, I'm start going back up there. I'm going back up there. I'm doing it. Um, in May, Phil was like, look, I'm gonna be done with this. Will, you want to take over? I'm like, take over? Like, bro, I haven't even figured out if I'm funny yet. Like, I don't know who I am in comedy. And like,
Mhm.
first thing I heard in the back of my brain, like, bro, you can't pass up on opportunities. So I'm like, you know what? Forget it. Let's do it. All right. So he passed it to me, and I took it over. Found my voice. I made it, mine.
Mm.
I think when you're taking over something that somebody had, the hardest thing is to make it yours, right?
Yeah.
And so that was my goal. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna do this my way, and I'm gonna make this welcoming for everybody. Not to say that it wasn't, but going to other mics, some spaces ain't for everybody,
For sure. Yeah.
and you can go somewhere and you go, you know what? I don't think nothing I can say here is going to go well, and I I made riddles not like that, like.
Mm.
Don't get me wrong. Towards the end of the mic, it wasn't that many people, but I sat in there and I laughed. If it was good, I'm gonna laugh, right? And so I laughed. I had a good time, and I did my best to, not gatekeep. I told everybody whatever I know, y'all know, but like I don't know what you don't know. You gotta ask.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
You asked. I told, and I gave my complete honest opinion and ways to go do things. Especially what I always tried to give to people was all the mistakes, or not the mistakes, the stuff that slowed me down to where I wanted to go. I don't think nothing's a mistake; it's a learning experience. So everything that I use to learn, I'm gonna tell you, so you don't have to learn it the same way I did, right? And it's not competition. To a certain extent, but it's not really competition. We all in the same boat. We all trying
For
to
sure.
get more notoriety, become a better comic. And if I could facilitate somebody coming through my open mic and becoming the next whoever is on the top, I'll be happy with that.
For sure. Yeah, that'd be pretty good. Uh, do you have like maybe a top three of your influential comedians?
Uh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Richard Pryor for sure. Richard Pryor was one of the first comics I ever heard. Um, like, I'm weird. I don't have like a big history like with comedy, but Richard Pryor was one of the first people that I like seen do stand up, like through videos and stuff like that. I was like, oh damn, he's just up there talking.
Yeah,
He's just telling stories. And then like once I got into it, I realized that man reinvented comedy, right? Because before that, people was telling one-liners essentially, right? These little short jokes. Like Red Fox. Red Fox is another person who influenced me because he also changed the game. It really went from AB jokes to him adding his own little stuff into it, but it was still AB jokes. Then after that, I guess it's between like two people. I feel like you can't knock the influence of Kevin Hart because I felt like he really threw his whole personality on stage. That's why like I laugh a lot, and that's who I am. And like it was from him. I ain't gonna say like directly from him, but when I saw him do like Grown Little Man and Seriously Funny, I felt like it was just him. He was just talking. He was having a good time. And a lot of times I see comedians, I feel like they doing stories or they doing characters and stuff like that. Kevin Hart ain't got no characters. He's not no impressionist. Like he built the world around how he saw. He told you about the people in his family, but it was still him and who he was. And then a lot of people say I give off. I forgot who they said. They said it was like a mix between Patrice O'Neal and somebody else, maybe Bruce or something. And I'm like, what?
Bruce.
I'm like, I don't think I give off Bruce at all. But Patrice O'Neal is another one of my influences.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. Well, your stage presence and that for sure. I definitely would say that. That can probably be like one of the biggest compliments that I can give because like
thank you,
so many other people, like even myself, that's something I definitely got to work on is having a better stage presence. And it's not so much like just going out there and being loud and shit. It's about like having your own real personality, like you said, bringing your own thing to it. And like you said, like you do laugh a lot, but it's not. For sure, I've seen people who they'll laugh at their own stuff all the time, but it's like but then it makes you feel kind of like that's not fun. That's not. But I feel when you do it, it's like the people are joining part of the fun instead of you're trying to force it to be fun.
Dude, one of the things I had to learn with me laughing on stage, Damon Williams gave me some of the best advice from being at Riddles. I ran into him a lot. When he first saw me, he told me, he was like, yo, like try to scale it back and come off like a nervous tick. And I was like, okay. Again, I was like a year in, so maybe and then I watched like older videos now. I was like, God, dog, I was so terrible. But I heard what he said and I tried to ring it in, bro, and I just can't. Like, then he saw me perform. He booked me on one of his weekends, and I did it. He goes, you know what? I'll take that back. It's just who you are. Have fun. And I was like, okay, cool, right? Because I tried my best to like bring it in, but it's who I am. But then he gave me another piece of advice. He was like, just watch when you laugh. Like I had a tendency of laughing before the punchline was fully out, and he was like, hey, it's funny. Let them hear it and laugh with them if that's what you're gonna do. I was like, all right, bet. I'm like, okay, cool. So like somebody like that with those little tags helped me become a better comic. And he didn't try to change who I was. A lot of comics told me just stop laughing, I'm like, bruh, it works for me though. Like
for sure.
Like, it's who I am. That's the first thing people say. Like, dude, your laugh is infectious. I love your laugh. Like, dude, you funny, but you laugh, and I'm like, I can't help it. This shit's funny.
Do you feel like you have a philosophy or a message behind your comedy?
No, I don't. It ain't that serious. It's just jokes. I do live by this one thing, like control what you can control. And when it comes to stand up, what you can control is your time on stage. I can't control the crowd, right? I can't control the promoters, how they brought people in. I can't control none of that. What I can control is my 5, 7, 10, 15, whatever amount of a lot of time I got. I can control that. But when it comes to like my jokes, I don't know. It's lighthearted.
Yeah.
I like to point fun at certain things, and you know, I don't want to be saying like I'm some genius. I think differently, but I do think differently about certain things, and the people who can relate, they can relate. And one thing I learned with my presence personally is, you know, I know I got like a big personality to shine on stage, and when it comes to like hecklers, you got to either shut it down or or deal with it. Those are two options,
Yeah.
and I feel like a lot of people fail to do that because if you half-ass it, the heckler wins.
Mhm.
And
Yeah, for
you
sure.
might as well just get off stage at this point. But if you go deal with it, completely deal with it, snuff it out. If you ain't gonna deal with it, let them look like a jackass and keep going. And so my personality type, since it's big, I don't get a lot of hecklers because I'm rolling the whole entire time. You don't have time to heckle me, right? I'm in it, and when I do get my laughs, I learn how to let the laughs build and come back down and give it time to breathe. That was the thing because when I first started doing comedy, bro, it was 100 miles an hour. Just go, joke, because I was nervous, and I'm like, if I'm not talking, something's wrong. And it was like, no, let them get it. If they don't get it, let it sit for a second. They might get it. Like,
No, for sure.
no, I don't think I have like a underlying message. This ain't no mental health awareness and nothing. Like, if you fucked up, you fucked up.
That's for sure. I mean, yeah, I don't know if it's more nowadays that comedians are focusing first on trying to get like a message out there instead of focusing on being funny first. Uh,
my thing is like I want to be like that's stupid, but there's no wrong way to do this. That's the luxury of comedy, with it being subjective. There's no wrong way to do this. Every comic could find a space where their particular style of comedy will murder. Every comic, there's a space for everybody, and if it's not space, you have something very unique, and you need to build you a space. Point blank, period. But no, I don't. As much as I want to be like that's stupid, like focus on this, I can't tell you that. Like,
sure.
if that's who you are, and that's how you want to do it, then do it. My thing is do it to the best of your abilities. Right? My mom told me that shit. If you're gonna do it all the way. If you're gonna be a fuck up, be a complete fuck up.
yeah, half-assing shit probably the worst thing you do.
No, if you're gonna be a criminal, be the best goddamn criminal you can.
All right. What's been your best experience so far in comedy?
Like honestly, my best experience is the friendships and bonds that I created. Right? I know it sounds cliche and all that other bull, but it is. I didn't think comedy was a community the way it really is when I first started.
Yeah.
When I first started, I saw it as a one-man sport, right? I went in there,
Yeah.
did my jokes, people gave me their tags, and you go home. But I truly made like some great friends. People like, if I ever get married, are going to be in my wedding type stuff,
For sure.
right? So I didn't think that would, was possible up top. It's not what I was looking for. But the bonds that I made, these are forever bonds. Even if I choose to stop doing comedy, like these are people I'm still going to converse with and still hang out with and stuff like that. So that's like my biggest thing, and it's constantly growing. It's weird. It's growing and shrinking at the same time because as I continue to grow, I want to say I'm more closely watching the people who are closely around me. Because like when you first get in, everybody's your friend.
For sure.
But then, like as you even if you begin to grow just a little bit, you see people look at you a little bit different, and it's like strange because I'm not at no social level where people should be looking at me weird, but they do. The moment you have like a great set and you get booked more than this person next to you, I'm like, bro, I got booked more this week than you. Next week we both ain't doing nothing. Like, like I'm sorry, my shows are lined this week. That's what happened. I didn't get booked more. My shows were just all in one week. But people look at you different, and like they look at you like as if you did something that they couldn't do, or it's weird. So having that tight group of people that I kick it with that I can trust is my greatest confidence so far. But I guess stage wise, I don't think I have one yet. I haven't had like a show that's like, oh my God, that was great. Like I just haven't. It hasn't happened yet, I guess.
Well, for sure, that's good. I mean, always looking for something better, so that's great.
Yeah, I'm like I know it's something bigger. I know it's something better. Like I have great shows. I've done Laugh Factory. I used to go out to Indiana, the Market. I've been to Ohio. We did some stuff in Ohio, Iowa. Rhode Island. Like I did a bar mitzvah a few months ago. Like yeah, right. And so it's like none of it was just shocking when I finished. I don't know. I like living in the moment, and then like once the moment's over, on to the next one.
For sure.
Especially when it comes to like stage time, you can have a great show. I take that back. I lied. Just that fat. I performed in front of Dion Cole at Riddles.
Oh, okay.
it was like his birthday. He just popped in, and I'm on stage. I'm doing my thing. I'm doing my Home Depot bit, right? And I see the light. I'm like at the end, so I'm like, okay, the light mean 1 minute, all right? So I'm like, all right, bet. I'm almost done. I do my bit. I finish. Another veteran comic, he berating me, talking about, yo, when you see that light, you got to go. Dion Cole here, you got to cut it short. I'm like, bro, I was at the end of the joke. This is the end of the joke. This is my closing joke. I am at the end. How am I supposed to know Dion Cole just walked in the building?
Yeah.
I'm on stage. I'm not checking people in at the door. I don't know. And so, like, he had me feeling bad, right? I'm like, oh, man, I just fucked this up. And Dion Cole gets on stage, and the first thing come out his mouth, hey, yo, that last dude is funny. I'm going to see him around.
Oh,
and I lived on that for a while. Like, you know Alan, right? Alan was like, all right, well, we get it. Like, I'm like, no, Dion Cole said I was funny.
That's pretty damn good. What's been your worst experience so far?
I don't know. I've never like booed off stage or nothing. Doing like private events, I hate doing private events. Kicking with Alan, we doing birthday parties. The bar mitzvah wasn't that bad, but birthday party, we got booked to do a high school graduation party.
Oh snap!
Bro, I'm 34. We showed up to this backyard. It's high school kids there. And, bro, the kid we doing this for, he don't care. Yeah. He left in the middle of Alan's set to go drive a Corvette. Like his uncle has a Corvette. He let him go drive the Corvette. And I'm like, I'm talking to them. I'm like, would you get good grades? They're like, no. I'm like, did you graduate? Why are we here? So like by the end of my set, I'm talking to the adults, little high schoolers. They don't care. They high school.
Yeah.
I don't know. I never had a bad set. I had plenty of those, but nothing where I was like, oh, I'm gonna quit comedy. Oh, this was terrible. I'm like, oh, that was bad, but on to the next
one. What drew you to starting stand up?
All right, if it's a clip you go post this just for my best friend because it was because of him. My best friend Chris Carpin, right? Best friend for 15, 17 years, whatever. Bro, we used to go to parties, and our goal by the end of the party was to have everybody know who we were, right? Oh, nice. Not on some weird type stuff, just them two guys cool as hell. That was our goal. That was our goal. And Chris know all about the DePaul party. We went to this one party, bro. We showed up late. We go get a bottle of UV Blue, and we turn up, bro. We left that thing. Everybody knew us. It was crazy. It was crazy. But he had been telling me for years, dude, you gotta try stand up. You gotta try stand up. You gotta try stand up. And for me, it was never nothing I thought about. I was just funny, right? I enjoy being the center of attention and holding people's attention, but like never did I think about trying stand up. And I hear a lot of stories. People like, oh, so I thought about it, and I went to a few mics to see how it was. I finally got tired of him telling me I should try it, and I went to Riddles. And on my first time going, I went up, and I've been doing it since, to be honest.
Oh, nice. Well, that's great having someone at least to push you.
Yeah. Again, I never thought about stand up. I don't know. I guess in my head, I never thought about how do you get into something like that, or where do you begin. It was just like, he's like, dude, you should do stand up. I'm like, okay, I hear you. I was like, all right, man, I'm gonna do it.
Nice. Where do you want to end up in comedy?
I don't know. I guess it's kind of weird because I don't want to be at the top, right? I don't want to be Kevin Hart. That's not my goal. My goal is to have comedy, support my lifestyle, whatever that is, where I can live comfortably and slightly under the radar, to be honest. Like,
for sure.
Like, I want to be known by comics, right, as a killer. I want to be known by bookers as a killer. But I still want to be able to go walk through the mall. And somebody walk up to me every now and again, might come up to me and say a joke, which has happened, which is, it's so strange. It's so strange. I forgot where I was at, but this dude just ran up to me and he's just like talking about a joke, and like for the life of me, I didn't know what he was talking about. And he go, "No, you're a comic, right?" I was like, "Yeah." He pulls up a TikTok, which didn't even get that many views, bro. It got like 1,000 some odd views. I'm like, how did you end up being one of the 1,000 people that saw this little TikTok that I did? Like, he goes, "Yeah, that's you, right?" I'm like, "Yeah." Like, I got a picture. I'm like, "A picture?"
Oh, damn.
Like, bro, I'm not even TikTok famous. Like, what is? Hey, I took the picture though. Like,
fan is a fan.
for sure.
You have a favorite joke that's not yours?
A favorite joke that's not mine. I don't know. That changes weekly. To be honest, I hear so much comedy, and it's right now. My homie Steve Black, bro, he got this joke about. Because he's white. That's one of the things, Steve. Like, he's white. Right now, he got this joke about that song, They Not Like Us. And he goes, "Man, black people make fun look like it's fun. Like, I'm so mad I can't partake in y'all stuff. Like, I be saying y'all, they not like us. And I just be standing there like, I'm not like them." I'm like, bro, that's hilarious. Like, I can already imagine some dude making a parody. Just, I'm not like them. I'm not like them. I think it's so funny.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Shit. Where'd you grow up?
Southside Chicago. I grew up. You know, like the neighborhood names of Chicago? Some of them?
Some of them.
So I grew up in this place called Washington Heights. And every time I say it, people go, where is that? I grew up on 97th and Halsted, right? It wasn't a bad neighborhood. We had our little games, but it was a decent neighborhood. I love the neighborhood. My girlfriend, she lives in Rhode Island. That's why I go out there a lot. I just had her out here and drove through my old neighborhood just to show her where I grew up. And it looks the same. I end up seeing one of my friends' baby mamas still out there. Like, ain't nothing changed. It's the same neighborhood. But that's where I grew up. It wasn't bad, right? It wasn't the best area. My mom did the best she could, and I thank her for it each and every time. But we grew up fairly safe. You know? Like, because people think Chicago, everything's the slums. I didn't have to get it from the mud. I didn't. We was on the cement.
Not bad. All right. Let's see. Do you have any other interests or hobbies besides comedy?
I play a lot of video games. I just started like collecting like Disney Locana cards.
Oh
yeah, so like I'm a nerd at heart. Like now I got my girlfriend into doing it. We both got binders full of freaking Locana cards. I don't know, man. I just hang out. I got a media production company, so we always trying to film skits and short movies, short films and stuff like that. I don't know, just whatever I can really get into. I don't know. I hate being tied to like one thing. So like I always half-ass commit to a lot of shit. Like, that way you can't put me in no box, right? Because you wouldn't expect me to say Disney Locana. I started with Pokemon cards. I had just started collecting Pokemon cards, and then the Disney Locana. I'm like, oh, this finna drop. Oh, this gonna be hot. Like, let me stop Pokemon for right now, because Pokemon got this own thing, because they still think it's the pandemic, so they overprint so much stuff, so the value of Pokemon cards is drastically down. But I'm like, oh, Locana's gonna be hot. Everybody loves Disney. Like, I don't care who you are. And so we were collecting like they on like they fourth like set, if you know trading cards. They on like on their fourth set, and so we've been collecting them. That's what I guess what I'll do now. I do my video games. I be trying to stream, but I be lazy. Like I got all the stuff to stream. I've done it a few times, but my streaming is difficult. I don't know how people do that. Like sit there and stream video games, because I like video games. It's like leisure time. I'm chilling. But when you turn the camera and the lights on, you dare to entertain. It's no longer just video games.
You can't relax.
No, and I'm playing, and it's like, bro, this ain't as fun no more. Right? If I could turn on and don't say nothing, and somebody say how I talk to them, I'm like, maybe that's what I do. But because I'm addicted to this one game called Brotato. I don't know how to describe it, bro. It's some indie game. I play Xbox, and I play it every day. Get a little bit of Brotato. My girl be like, "What are you doing playing Brotato?" She's like, "I should have known."
I was gonna ask you had a favorite video game, or it was.
I mean, I'm a Madden guy. I've been
Oh,
playing
snap.
Madden since I can really remember. Between like Madden, I love the Assassin's Creed series, even though they're going so far from where they started. I'm an RPG guy. I love Grand Theft Auto. I mean, who don't? I never forget staying up 24 hours trying to beat San Andreas in one sitting.
Snap.
Now, bro, now I can beat it with my eyes closed. You know, like no cheat codes. Give me 6 hours. I could beat this game.
Snap. What do you think? Well, I feel like nowadays, in I don't know if it's probably just a lot more online. People like being really offended by comedy and stuff like that. I don't know. Do you maybe see that more nowadays, or what do you think about people just like being offended by stuff we say?
I do think people are now a lot more soft or just easily offended to things, bro. Because I got a joke where I say during the Halloween time, there's a lot of people dressed up as heroes, right? And I saw this dude dressed up as gay Spider-Man. And he was gay because he was walking around. He was going, yes, yeah, you know what I'm saying. And so like I did the joke in front of and my buddies. You been to my buddies?
Yeah.
It's a rainbow area.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that's it.
And but it was funny. But I saw the people, they didn't want to laugh because they thought I was making fun of gay people. I'm like, y'all do that though. Like, did I lie? And so like I can see them. They sit there like. I'm like, bro, let it out. It's okay. Y'all can make fun of yourselves. Like, bro, it's fine. But I do think people get easily offended, and I don't know if it's over the internet. I've seen people get offended at shows. I've seen people get offended because they they told a joke about some. I'm like, bro, what? You didn't even hear it, and you mad? Like, you know how many times you can misinterpret something, and you didn't, and you mad? You upset with them? Talking about canceling them, and what? Like, bro, get out of here. Like. I don't know. That's why I was so gung-ho. Like, you can say whatever you want at Riddles. You can say whatever you want about open mic. And like I said, if you offend somebody, just be able to fight. Like, and I think if you're offended, don't listen to it. Like, get up and leave. Or don't pay attention to it. Because the moment you're offended and y'all band together, you just gave it life. I don't understand the whole, you can't tell that type of joke. It's a joke. It was meant to. Was it funny or not? That's the question.
Yeah.
That's the real question. And if it wasn't funny, you wouldn't be mad. Like if somebody say the most offensive stuff, you don't have to respond to that. You don't have to give it the energy. Like being a black dude, I've heard a lot of stuff.
I bet.
And like it don't bother me. Right? If I'm gonna dress up, like I said, I'm fully addressed or not. Like, and I feel like the moment you say something, you give it life, right? And now it works for them. Like they got you riled up. They got you. You fell right into the trap by being offended by this stuff. Like it's a comic out here. I'll say his name later. I don't want to give him the life, but he says the most offensive stuff on purpose. It's what he does. And he does it say he get the fuck up out of there, right? Because to me in his head, all he just want to shake up the room and leave, right? And people get offended. I'm like, what? Like he used the guise of comedy to say the most offensive stuff. Just it's comedy. I can say it. Like, yeah, guys like that, yeah, cancel them, right? But like somebody who just made a bad joke, I don't know. I don't get it. I really don't get it. Maybe because we're comedians and it's just like, bro, like, look at the intent here. The intent was not to offend. And even if it was, you just made it work. Like, I don't get it.
Well, you said you have your own media production company.
Yeah, Third Post Media. Always looking to film projects. If y'all got a project script or something that you got written out, but you need somebody to film it and edit it, hit us up. We do all that stuff. We got all the stuff you need. Me and my business partner Curtis, we got some stuff we finna work on soon. But y'all can check us out, Third Post Media, thirdpostmedia.com, Third Post Media, all social networks. We got some stuff that we've done. We got some more stuff we finna do. I was just on the phone with him on my way over here, planning some stuff. We got some more skits and sketches and stuff we finna get ready and do.
Oh, that's awesome.
Like, I got a short film. I wanna film it. I finally stopped being lazy and wrote it all the way out. So like me, I love Curtis because we are two different type of minds. I don't like structure stuff. I don't. Like before I go on stage, bro, I don't write no set. Like my friends that ask me, "What jokes you gonna do?" I don't know. When I go to that stage, I'm gonna figure it out. That's how I go about it. Or like I start thinking about it as my name is getting called. I'm like, oh, let me do this joke. I don't like playing stuff. So like I like to get people together, bring the camera out, let's do some improv stuff, right? My homie Curtis, not the same way. That boy like structure. He's like, no, I need to see the whole script. We need to plan the shots. We need a storyboard. And so between the two, we get together and we make some good stuff happen.
Awesome. Are you into films? Or?
I don't know. I guess mildly. Like I want to make short films, but I'm not like a film student or. I do like looking at the extras in movies.
Okay.
Like, I like to watch the extras, like the extra. I love like M. Night Shyamalan. Okay. I love the way he films and the way he thinks. Oh, this is so crazy. I love that Spike Lee shot where he always got them like running, but they on that little pulley board.
Oh, okay.
That shot is, obviously infamous, the Spike Lee shot, but it's like crazy. I watched like Spike Lee's like masterclass and how he does stuff and how he thinks. I'm like, oh, that's insane. But I want to do it. Like,
yeah, for sure, yeah.
But comedy is my main focus, stand-up comedy, to be precise. Can't just say comedy. I don't consider myself like a comedy writer. Like I couldn't see myself being on SNL, like in the background writing. I'm in the front, but not like a writer. I got some good ideas. I just know when to write. Like if somebody hired me to work like on a set somewhere, you got to hire somebody to type out what I say because I'm not.
You're not gonna sit down and do it.
Right, I'm not gonna do it. Like I got good ideas. Just.
Nice. All right, rolling up on 30 minutes here. Do you have a one joke of yours to get the people to get to know you a little bit better?
I'll do a joke I've been doing recently. Lately, I've been seeing all the stuff about like superpowers and people got powers and stuff like that. I often wonder when I get into crowds if someone can read minds. Like, 'cause that's terrifying to me. Like, I don't want nobody to read my mind unsolicited. I'm a normal guy. My mind is filthy. Like, if you want to read my mind, you need to sign an NDA first. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just can't read it just 'cause. And so in my head, whenever I get around a crowd, this is what I do. In my head, I go, if you can read minds, come up to me and say, Alakazam, I give you $100, right? And not one time ever has no one came up to me and said, Alakazam, I got $100. But after the show one time, the dude walked up to me and went, abracadabra. And I was like, what? Abracadabra? Bro, that's not even the word, first off. Second off, you just can't come up to me saying random stuff and you don't think I'm going to change it? You think I'm going to say it out loud and not change it? Third off, if you could actually read minds, you would know I don't have $100. Maybe people can't read minds and know I don't have $100 and haven't said that. Maybe one of them is true.
That's pretty great.
Yeah, I like it. It's still a work in progress. I don't know where I'm gonna go with it, but it's a good joke.
Yeah, for sure. All right. So where can we find you? Social medias?
You can find me everywhere. Simply Just Will. You don't have to put spaces in under. You type it in, you can find me. All social media. I think I'm gonna switch it to like Will Hood Comedy, but right now look up Simply Just Will.
All right. Well, that's the end of that. Thank you so much for joining me, man.
Hey, man, thanks for having me, brother.
For sure. All right, that's the end of that.